info to walk the walk now. Sometimes it's a foreign language, now know what's up, don't mistake it. This'll help you every situation, empower yourself, it's liberating, yeah. Communication, don't need no speculation, just get that clarification, then reconciliation. Man translation, yeah. Man translation, yeah.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Sunday with Man Translation. I am Scott C. This is Dante V. He is our resident communication and relationship strategist, and I am the business side. I am the producer, business owner, everything. I'm the everything woman. Because I do some of everything, y'all. What do we talk about here? We talk about communication between men and women, bridging the gap. And we just talk about the hot topics. We talk about things that's relevant to us, things that's cutting edge and raw, and things that's gonna help you in the quality of your life, to make your life better, give you some answers. You know, we come here, we share our experiences. So I don't talk about what I don't know about. So if I don't know about it, I ain't talking about it. So I don't make it up, not winging it. So, but I have a lot of concerns about my people. I have a lot of concerns about my people. I do a lot of work in the community. I've been an advocate since I was a teenager. So since I was a teenager, I've always advocated. I walked for people who couldn't walk. You know, I would do all kind of walkathons and collect money and do fundraisers. And I got interested in politics when I was in high school. So I've been really kind of advocating and doing stuff in my community pretty much, I feel like, my whole life. And if I wasn't advocating to advocate, I was advocating at my school, advocating in my, amongst my friends. So I'm kind of like the voice to the voiceless. And it wasn't like I was trying to be. I wasn't trying to be. I remember when I was 15 years old, I ran away from home. I went to my grandmother and I said, I can't live my mom's life no more. Because, growing up in the hood, growing up in the projects, it was really rough. I saw a lot of abuse. I saw a lot of murder and killing and drug taking. And when I was about 15, I got tired of it. And I went to my grandmother and I said, I can't live her life anymore. I want to run away. So my aunt called around and look at me. I planned my own runaway. I had some help in my runaway. And I remember my aunt, she called around and found me a youth shelter to go in. It's the reason I'm telling this story. She found me a youth shelter because she knew that my mother was going to come looking for me over at her house. At the time, I had a boyfriend, Dante's daddy. He was my high school sweetheart, and I ended up marrying him and having 3 children with him. And I ran away at 15. And for some reason, the girls in the shelter would all gather around my bed. They would all come and gather around my bed because I was concerned about everybody. And there was one girl that lived downstairs on the ground floor. We lived on the 3rd floor, and her name was Pam. And we always used to be wondering what's wrong with Pam. Like, we knew something was wrong with Pam. And I'm sitting on my bed, and she comes over to the bed, and I look up, and I was like, Pam? And she sat on my bed, and she started telling me that she had been, raped and molested by her mother's boyfriends. And everybody just started coming over to my bed and just telling me, their stories. And it's been like that for the rest of my life. And the people that ran the shelter gave me an award, a leadership award, because of at 15 years old. And it made me go back home because I was like, man, I thought my stuff was bad. Listening to all of these people, the stuff they going through, like, I need to go on back home. Like, my mom is rough, but, and I've had, not that rough. I've had instances where, men have tried to do stuff to me, but my grandmother, she taught me to fight back. So, but to hear their stories and to hear how majority of them have been raped and molested by the boyfriends and, all of that, it let me know that I had some type of leadership ability that was natural to me, because a lot of times when you're gifted with something, the reason you don't know what your gifts are because they come natural to you, so it's easy for you to overlook it. But sometimes if you just look at, how people react to you or how they interact with you, you'll start to notice what your gifts are and what your talents are. And so they recognized the fact that I was a leader, and I just embraced it. I just embraced it, and it stayed with me my whole life. Even now, people still come to me and tell me tell me all their problems and everything. So I wanted to come and share on this show to be able to help somebody, because people are going through so much. And when you're going through something, you feel like nobody else is going through this but me. But it's other people going through it. And it's other people that got it way worse.
They are. They're just real silent about it because they don't think anyone else there is going through the same things, or they just don't think that nobody can help them, or maybe they're too embarrassed.
Yeah, or embarrassed. But I think that growing up and seeing the human condition for so long, we moved into projects when I was in the second grade. So how old are you in the second grade?
Generally like 7, 8.
About 7. So I didn't leave until I was 19. So from 7 to 19, I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot and experienced a lot. And so I've always been concerned about my people and the state of my people. And so, now as a full-grown adult, to see the hatred between men and women, it's disturbing. It is absolutely disturbing. It is disturbing. Have you seen, because anytime the moral and the standards of a society go down, that's when the society crumbles. And so we have all of these celebrities who have influence, and then they're being paid by someone to further, erode, the moral fiber of individuals. Have you seen the Megan Stallion new video?
No, have not.
It's horrible.
I'm barely home enough to watch anything.
Well, see, I like to stay on cutting edge and know what's going on.
I know.
I have a 20-year-old. I need to know what's out there. The video is horrible. It's horrible. Now they're gonna call it art. They're gonna say it's wonderful, and that just goes to show how the moral fiber and the standards are getting lower and lower. She has literally a tapestry, a wall of twerking butts.
Wow.
It is very demonic. It is very demonic. She sticks her tongue out. It's a forked tongue, just like the devil. She's dressed in, it is dark. And I think that what I'm starting to realize is that there are more people that are in the dark arts than you realize. It's very
I can definitely
it's very dark. And so this generation of young girls are going to grow up thinking that's it. That's the way to go.
Yeah, because they're not being taught anything different.
Exactly, but you can't exploit yourself and call it women's empowerment. That's not women's empowerment. That's
doing it. That's probably what their definition of women's empowerment is, because that empowers them. But again, definitions get distorted all the time.
Well, I don't really see too much empowering about it. I don't really see what's empowering about it. I didn't find it edifying. I didn't find it really encouraging. And I think that what's so sad about it is that she's a really intelligent young lady. She's beautiful. She's college educated. Like, she could go in so many other directions. You know what I'm saying? She could go in so many other directions. You choose to. It's really soft porn. Really, it's really soft porn.
Not Cinemax.
And the thing is that her music doesn't really have any. All her music sounds the same. It doesn't really have any depth to it. So that's why, again, my role and the people in my age group, our role is to teach the young girls and better so that they can have their morals and stuff intact, because I think that's what the men hate. I've never seen so much hate between like the sexes as we see now. It's getting worse.
Again, like I said before, I do think that there is some hate there. I also think that it's really more so frustration. You got women who are now becoming more and more independent, and they don't need a man. Most women were taught to you got to go out there because you need a man, or go get you a man, and so on and so forth. Now they're like, I don't need it, I want one. And men view that as a threat because I'm not needed, I'm wanted. And if you don't want me, you can just throw me away. So therefore they get intimidated quicker. You meet a woman out there, she making six figures and you making five, she too strong, she too independent. So you go find someone that's less than just so you can mess her up. Because you're frustrated because you're not even willing to step up to that plate to maybe she can push you. And some women just make more. That's fine.
But what does how much money you make have to do with anything? How much money you make, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything. What does that have to do with anything?
It does, because for some men it causes frustration. I want you, I want to be here, but again, most men's stance, they have a need to be needed, not wanted. If I need you, I can stay here longer. If I want you, you realize that you don't want me anymore, you out the door. And most men can't handle that.
Well, first of all, when I think of a man, and I decide and make a decision to be with a man, it's not because of monetary reasons. It's because he's faithful, he has integrity, he's honest, he's generous, and things of that nature. It has nothing to really do with money. So for me, if I look at a man and all I think of is what he can provide for me, that sounds like a prostitute to me.
Again, but this is the generation we're in. I understand what you're saying, but that goes for your generation. My generation, depending on which side of the 80s we talking about, because one side is still in that manner. Hey, I don't really care. It's about, do they have the potential to, which is also another issue, because you latch onto a person's potential and then they turn out to be nothing. Now what? But they look at the intangibles of a person and know that, hey, okay, with my help, we can get you to where you need to be. We're gonna write this resume. We're gonna get you in an office job or whatever the case may be, so you can possibly contribute and be a functioning member in this relationship. Whereas though the other side is like, yeah, we don't care about the inside. We care about the outside. We care about what that paycheck is. You can't work at no McDonald's or nothing. I don't care how much they're paying. You need to be working in an office and wear a suit every day because it's about image.
Who came up with all this bull crap? Like, that's bull crap.
Somebody who the whole damsel in distress. I mean, again, it's also about what's being taught. Again, the whole damsel in distress thing, and go get you a knight in shining armor, et cetera, et cetera. All that stuff is taught.
Every human being is responsible for themselves. Every human being is responsible for themselves. It kind of reminds me of Think Like a Man. I don't know whether it was one or two, where he was like an aspiring chef, but he was not quite where he wanted to be in his career. And she was, pretty successful. She made six figures. And then she found somebody who, Mars Chestnut was like an old flame, and they ran into each other, and he was divorced. But all he talked about was himself and his job and all of that. So she found herself being more compatible with the guy, because it has nothing to do with how much money you have or how much money I have. You're responsible for your, for yourself, and I'm responsible for myself. And if we both, and I think that all of this comes back from slave mentality. I think these are the seeds and the residue that is spilling over into each generation, that you putting a price on people. You cannot put a price on a human being.
That won't
It
stop
is
people from
not
trying.
possible. It's not possible. It is not. You know, when I started my business, one of the things that God showed me was he said, you're valuable. You know, the Bible says you were bought with a price. Okay. And he said, I put you're priceless. There is no price on you. So I created you. If I and I don't care if y'all don't believe that I believe it. And so he said, because you are priceless, nobody can put a price on you, but you can put a price on things. So when I write a book, I put a price on it. You know what I'm saying? Everything I do, I put a price on it. Why? Because I'm priceless. And because I'm priceless, I can price things. And what I love about it is that when I price a book or whatever it is I'm working on, or a webinar or whatever, when I price it, it does not diminish my price.
Right.
Nothing diminishes my price. So it doesn't matter what, because what is, when you say he makes this amount or she makes that amount, what you're really saying is that
You can
job
be both.
defines them. That
Yeah.
job defines her. And it doesn't. So it's ridiculous. Your job
And
doesn't
then
define you. How much money you make doesn't define you. We got, as Black people, we got to get out of this materialistic thing we are in. It doesn't matter about what kind of car you drive. Because you know what? Let me tell you what's going to happen. We've been in a recession. I started my business in 2015. We've been in a recession since 2015. What happens after a recession is hyperinflation. Because what's happening is going down, so the prices start to go up because it's trying to balance itself out. So then hyperinflation happens, so all the prices go up. All the prices go up just before a depression. So a depression is when you hit the bottom, because the economy is cyclical. It goes up and down. Business is cyclical. It goes up and down. And so we've been in a recession. So if we're in 2 consecutive recessions, that means we're heading for a depression. But before we hit a depression, we're going to hit hyperinflation. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing hyperinflation. Wars don't really, it kind of messes with the prices, but it makes the wealthy wealthier when they go to war. And so when you're talking about economy, you're talking about money, you're talking about things. I want to talk about people. Priceless people. Not jobs, not 6-figure jobs, 7-figure jobs. I want to talk about people. I'm tired of all of this materialism. I don't care about what kind of car you drive. I don't need you to buy me no car. I don't need you to buy me no house. I can buy that stuff for myself. I'm not for sale. You can't put a price on me. It ain't nothing that you can give me or buy me. And that's all we're doing. We're telling the man, I'm for sale. That's what we're doing. And you shouldn't be for sale. If he has a nice car, cool. He got a nice house, cool. He got 6 figures, cool. That's great. That has nothing to do with you. Like, I am so tired of this. Let's get back to humanity. Let's get back to people. Please, can we?
No, I mean that's fine all and well, but again, it also takes a mindset. If you're being taught,
it's the truth. Are you
no,
priceless?
I'm with
When
you.
did they
I'm
put a
with you.
price on you? When? They put a price on you in slavery. They put a price on people in slavery. Are you a slave? No. Am I a slave? No. Even if, and that's where that comes from. Slavery was about economics. It wasn't necessarily about color, really. It was about economics, and it was about putting prices on people. So why are we putting prices on each other?
Because that's what's being taught. That's where the mindset is. If he can't pay your bills, if he can't buy you stuff, if he can't
Pay
take you
your
somewhere,
own bills. I don't need you to pay my damn bills.
that's the mindset that we're in at this point in time. That's it.
The hell I need you to pay? Do I look like a child? You take care of a child. I'm not a child. I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman. I don't need you to pay my bills. If I'm in a relationship by myself, you mean to tell me I'm not gonna feed myself? You mean to tell me I ain't gonna pay none of my bills?
It's not viewed that way.
There's no way.
Again,
When I meet
I
a man,
understand everything you're saying.
so how do a man feel when I meet him? All I see is how he can help me. Come on now, I wouldn't want to be with you either.
Which is typically, again, in some women's defense, they're not really interested anyway. But men have a thing, bro. They'll keep asking and asking and asking, and you have said no 1,000 times. So let me say yes, and then make it just uncomfortable the whole night. And now again, that's to their defense. I get it because men, they do beg. And then on the other side, it's like, well, if I can spend his money and they have to spend mine, then it is what it is. So if you
That's
get
called selfish. That's what that is. That's
know.
selfish. That means you're greedy and you're selfish. That's greedy and selfish. You want to spend somebody else's money and hold on to yours. That's greedy and selfish. And normally, when you find somebody that's greedy, they're also selfish. Most greedy people are very selfish.
Yeah.
That's selfish. Who wants to be in a relationship with a selfish person? Nobody. Nobody. You are 100% responsible for yourself. 100. Period.
No,
You are a priceless human being. Nobody can put a price on you. Nobody. Your job does not define you. The car you drive does not define you. And let me tell you something about Gucci, Fendi, Louis Vuitton. They racist. They don't like black people. They've been around when slavery was around. A lot of them are turn of the century companies. And you have made them billionaires. Some of y'all need to go read the book, How to Sell to a Negro. Go get that book. Go on Amazon and get that book, How to Sell to a Negro, because they know black people are materialistic. Because you validate yourself with Fendi, Gucci, and somebody else's name on your back because you have no identity. I don't need to wear none of that. I'm working on my own stuff, and when I put it on, when I look on the label, my name gonna be on it. I don't need to. No, none of them Louis Vuitton. None of them don't validate me. And I like quality things. I love quality things. I love things of quality. Yes, I do. My son will tell you. But it does not define who I am.
Never lie.
It does not define who I am. We got it, and this is why the hate is going, because men are saying we tired of being used. We tired of paying all y'all bills, and then when the highest bidder come, you go with dude. You see what I'm saying? And then you want us to marry you, and we're not marrying you. Because how is a man going to view you when all you want is just his money? That means
it's not going to go nowhere. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So somebody else coming along got more money than me, Portia, you're going to go with him. She was with Dennis, and then now she with Simon. Because why? She's going to the highest bidder because she's materialistic. Ooh. Don't care if he was still married, wasn't divorced, the ink wasn't dried. Going to the highest bidder, because we're not seeing ourselves as human. We're seeing ourselves as objects that a label can be placed on. Mm-hmm. And it's an undercurrent of hatred. It's an undercurrent of resentment. Why? Because when you have resentment for your oppressor, somebody put a price on you, what you got to do? What you got to do for that man? He paying your bills. What you got to do for him?
Oh, gosh. I mean, it's a number of things I can say to that.
But. So what kind of respect is he going to have for you?
I mean, because you come out the gate demanding such. It's not like, oh, I see that you're struggling, or I see that you're having a hard time, single mom or whatever the case may be. Let me go ahead on and take care of that. Because if you volunteer for something, there shouldn't be any strings attached. If you just throwing it out there, oh, I need this done, this done, this done, and you gonna help me do this, you gonna help me do that, then more than likely they're gonna want to see something in return.
They're going to want something in return. And what is that? That's the pimp and the prostitute.
Oof.
And then you gravitate toward these fraudulent scam artists who call themselves coaches, who showing you their houses and their cars that they don't own.
Yeah, I've seen a number of
They're leasing those. They leasing them cars because they know how do you sell to a Negro, because they know that you're materialistic. Oh, you can have this lifestyle, you can have this car, when they doing everything they can to make sure that they paying $30,000 mortgage, $40,000 mortgages, $50,000 mortgages. You know what I'm saying? You're not understanding that it's a lot of responsibility to come with these mansions and these expensive cars that they don't own this stuff. They leasing this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. Because they trying to maintain a lifestyle. Let me tell y'all something. The people you see today that claim they got money, you ain't even gonna see them in about a year or two. When people got real money, they don't be on social media.
Yeah, I just seen an interview by Jay-Z, and he was talking about how they get money and they put it in the video or whatever. He was like, "That's corny. You telling people basically how much money you got, whereas though you should be doing A, B, C, D." And then, like, he was just saying different raps to which he recited certain things, and he was giving you game on what to do, where to put your money, how to invest. And here you are, with the money phone and money on your sleeve. Like, no, you're making yourself a target.
We as a culture of people, because we're as a collective, as a whole, we're not used to having money, and we're not really used to being in business, really. A lot of people, matter of fact, Kandi Burruss, we know she loves money, but she has a reality show now where she's showing her restaurant, and it shows she knows nothing about business, because the oh my God, the team that she has in her restaurant, the ratings are down. She's failing inspections, and people are complaining about the restaurant. And now she's showing you behind the scenes, and people are saying, "Man, no wonder the restaurant is not doing good." See, she has Don Juan to execute her ideas, and it's a lot of people. There's a difference between knowing how to make money and knowing business.
Mm-hmm.
People that do real business do not come on social media showing all of their wares. They do not come on there showing you their house and what cars they drive. Those are scammers. Those are people that are chasing money, and they're trying to sell you a pipe dream so that you can buy whatever it is that they're selling. People that do real business, they don't do that.
No. Mm.
So you can know how to make money, but don't know business. And she's trying to breathe life into her business. And while they were filming the first show, the lights went out. Because Kandi is cheap, and she'll tell you she's cheap. I love Kandi. I've met her at least 3 times. I've met Don Juan, had conversations with them. She will tell you herself she's cheap. But cheap is expensive. So I'm all for quality, because cheap is expensive. By the time you get finished buying 15 pairs of shoes for $20 at Payless, you might as well go ahead and spend $200 on a pair of shoes you'll have for the next 10 years. I'm with it. I get it. I'm with the quality.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to put nothing on my back. I don't want to wear nobody on my back because I don't know who I am. And this Birkin bag is saying I'm somebody. I'm somebody without the Birkin bag. Money don't
Right.
make me, it don't break me. Okay. I'm in a way better place now than I was before. I'm in control of my money. My money is not in control of me. I tell money what to do. Money don't tell me what to do. I master my money. My money don't master me. When you chase after money, you chasing after these dreams, and they on here blinging and dripping. It's all for show. Who was that rapper that just came out? I forgot his name, and said all that drip it wasn't even real. Fake drip.
Was that Moneybag? I think that might have been
It might have
Moneybag. He
been
said that
one
he
of
was
them. Fake drip.
he said he was wearing fake jewelry in the beginning.
Because they know that's what Black people like. They know that the community as a culture lacks identity. And so they get their identity from, oh, I got the latest this and I got the latest that. That's not how you become wealthy. That's not even really how you make money. It's one girl on social media complaining about Rashida. Rashida sells knockoff name brand stuff, knockoff, okay, some stuff she got from China for $10, and she put it in a store. You know, she has a store here, and this is the crazy part. Here in Houston, in our downtown gallery, you got Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Fendi, all of them, all of the top.
You talking about the Galleria in the back?
And that's why so many celebrities shop here, because it's in a row. It's on both sides in a row. And Rashida got her store next to all of the top luxury brands. And she sells $10 knockoff stuff while she walking around in the real stuff. She's selling you the fake knockoff stuff while she walking around in the real stuff. And so she been getting a lot of flack about that. See, we can't exploit our own people. We can't exploit our own people. We can't keep exploiting each other, and we can't keep giving each other hate, because it's a lot of hate, more hate than I've ever seen amongst men and women of color. So did you see the video with the one Asian girl? She said, I know why Black women are mad. She said, Black women are mad because they don't know how to treat their own men, but we do. So don't think that we're trying to steal your man. They coming over here with us because you don't know how to treat them. I said, oh my God, she about to start.
That's on both ends though. I'll definitely say that's on both ends. One, Black women ain't gonna take all what you doing. They gonna curse you out. They're gonna tell you about yourself. And most men don't want to hear that.
Well, first of all, as an adult, I shouldn't be cursing you out anyway. This is what I'm saying. The communication. Who communicates like that? You do something I don't like, you get cussed out. That's immature. If you do something I don't like, I can't just have a conversation with you
No,
about it.
because again, we're taking the standpoint. We're all adults. You know you're doing wrong. You know damn well you shouldn't be out there with such and such. Lying to me in the process.
Deuces. Bye. Bye.
I forgot that fast who I was talking to.
Bye.
No chances. Just you gotta go.
You do get chances. I gave my ex-husband chances, but you just don't keep on getting chances. If I see that I'm giving you chances and you just gonna keep doing the same thing, then I'm not gonna keep staying in that. I can't do that. I'm telling you, sometimes, y'all, and I'm trying not to get emotional, and I know I'm passionate, and I know I'm coming across real, whatever, but like, I just really love my people, and I'm tired of women going through it. I hear from both sides. If we would just sit down and just have a talk and come to an understanding, we're part of the same culture. You don't see other cultures hating on each other like that. Like, come on. We need each other. I was in the store today and I couldn't reach something because I'm 5'2" and I've been 5'2" since I was 13. And I like being 5'2", quite frankly, because I like shoes. But I told him, we need you. Like, we need you. Don't let nobody tell you you're not valuable, because you are valuable. He looked at me, he said, I needed that. I needed to hear that. I really did. Yes. Yep. See, she just said the same things. Like, come on. This
That's
ain't
what's
about how much money nobody make. Stop listening to Kevin Samuels. Stop listening to that high value crap. That mess came from slavery. Them putting prices on people. You can't put a price on a person. You are priceless. Besides the fact that you're gorgeous, you're priceless. Nobody can't put no price on you. Stop putting a price on yourself. Stop it. Don't let nobody buy or sell you. Don't let money make or break you. Money don't make or break you. Money is a valuation. It's a medium of exchange. You take your gifts, your abilities, your talents, your expertise, your education, your skills to the marketplace, and you exchange it for money. That's all it is. You priceless. You the one with the gift. You the one with the talent. You the one with the education. If you went to college, you're the one with the skills. You are. It's just in raw form. I got a book coming out. Well, I already wrote the book called The Money Recipe. All the ingredients it take to make money. Okay, so y'all can stop tripping about it. You take it to the marketplace and exchange it. That's why they're trying to change the whole system into Bitcoin, because they want to control everything. They want to put it all in the cloud so that they can control it. They got y'all focusing on the wrong stuff while they over here doing something else. Stop putting all your business out on TikTok. TikTok is a spy app. That's why they changing the rules. I said that a couple years ago. I said, y'all better stop flipping around y'all PayPal accounts.
Again, I gotta, because it goes back to what's being taught.
Well,
people go off to what's being taught. So if you're taught to go ahead on and if you get followers by turning over your PayPal account or showing how much money you got, or even if you're using prop money, it's going to be done because it gets the attention and it gives people what they want.
And what happened? And what happened? And what
happened?
No,
like you said, the rules.
And so you on there bragging about you making 6 or 7 figures and you flipping around your PayPal account. I told people I can go back to the video and show you what the government's going to do. They're going to change the rules. What did they do? Now, if you Cash App in more than $600 or Zelle in or PayPal in more than $600, it's being reported. Because why? We can't afford to hate each other. Look at what they did to black people in Ukraine. We're not just hated in America, we're hated around the world. We don't have time to be giving each other hate. We ain't got time for that. We're hated around the world. We can't get on there and tell them we making 6 and 7 figures. They gonna change the rules every time. Now what they doing? Everybody coming on TikTok talking about credit repair, putting up whole letters. I have a whole book on how to repair your credit that I give away for free. Now what they doing? Joe Biden said what? We're gonna get rid of the credit reporting agencies. Cause y'all on there telling everything. Be quiet. Don't put everything on social media. Now he wants to get rid of the credit reporting agencies, put it under a nonprofit so he can control it. So you can't, if it's a mistake on there, you can't change it. Why? Everybody talking about, here go the letter for your credit. Here do your credit. You can come on there and do business and tell people your products and what you have without giving away the whole kitchen sink, the living room, and the shoes under the couch.
Yeah, but some people don't know how to do that. Again, some
because
people
they're
going out there just for the attention.
Money and being in business. When you're in business, you have business practices. You have standard operating procedures. You have ways to do things. There's a way to talk about your products without giving everything away. Every time we come on here, and it's no coincidence. You came on there flipping around your PayPal. Now they want to know what your Cash App in. Now you want to hear talking about credit. Now he changing that. When are we going to catch on?
They're not. Again, these things have to be taught. But you always have the ones who, okay, well, Well, since ain't nobody else doing it, allow me to be the first. Then eventually it's going to catch on. Because again, the same thing like you said, I'll go on my TikTok and you got credit repair, how to start a business, how to get an LLC, um, not using your personal credit but using business credit. All this stuff is out there. It is going to continue to be out there because everyone
And
thinks whatever
they're
form of
going
video
to
is the right
change
one.
the rules. Whenever black people catch on to something, they change the rules. So why would you come on there? First of all, they're not even giving you the whole story about business credit. They need to be teaching you how to get revenue. How do you get revenue? It's just like your personal credit. You can have a credit card all day. You can have $1 million. You can have a black card. You can have a glow in the dark card. When that bill come in, how you gonna pay it? See, they not telling that part. That burns me up so bad. It burns me up so bad because it's misleading. They're not telling you that you have to have a consistent, they have to see a consistent flow of revenue coming into your account. You have to have not just level one, tier one, you got tier one, tier two, and tier three. When you get to tier one, you know what I'm saying? The next level is a tier because it's a consistent revenue that they have to see. Banks don't give you money if you ain't got no money. Business credit ain't no different than personal credit. You still got, they need to be teaching you how to build revenue. How do you build cash flow? So they leaving out so much.
Again, this goes back to what
They
we were
trying
talking
to
about
make you think,
earlier.
oh, I could get credit, right? Wait, no. There's definitions. When you first start a business, you're a micro business. Then you go from a micro business to a small business. What's the definition of a small business? A small business is someone who has consistent $1 million revenue. Consistent. Between 1 and 10 employees, you're considered a small business. If you make less than $1 million in revenue, okay, you're a micro business. Banks don't lend money to micro businesses. Before the pandemic hit, they wasn't giving away all that money. That's why I knew something was up with it. Because they don't give you, banks give, it's just like, or do you give your friends money that don't have no money?
No, unless you want to
They
lose
pay
it.
you back. You loan them money?
I ain't got no friends, so yeah, no.
Don't nobody loan money to people that can't pay them back. It's the same concept with a bank. Because that's why when you first start out, you're in that catch-22. You be like, well, how am I going to get some credit if you don't give me no credit? Why? We need consistent revenue. Ain't nobody gonna just give you no. The only way you're gonna get business credit is if you get on somebody else's. If you get a trade line, you get on somebody else's. So they come on there, they tell half the story, and they lying and misleading people. And what they're saying, they just not telling the whole thing. Everything is business credit this. And then don't think that they not looking. So now guess what? They're going to start changing the rules on that too. And it makes it difficult for the people that's doing stuff legitimately.
Now, let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. Now, everything you just said can be parallel to what we're talking about as far as the differences between men and women. Information that's being put out there was from someone who was hurt, telling them, "Hey, go out here and just get these men and have them pay A, B, C, D, whatever the case may be." And it keeps getting passed down, and it has like this snowball effect from generation to generation to generation. Thus, the men who are out there or the women who are out there who are trying to do it correctly, they're getting hit with the red flags because they might be doing one minute thing that triggered them because from a past relationship, now it's like all men ain't ish or all women ain't ish. And now we're back to this whole thing where you literally have hurt people hurting people or the downgrade, I can't date no black woman because of ABCD, or you got a black woman who just dated outside her race because she didn't heard something different. It's the exact same thing when it comes down, as you were saying, as far as the business is concerned. They don't have the entire story, so they're operating off of half of something, not realizing you need that you need everything, just not what this hurt person is telling you, or this misinformed person what they're telling
But you know what? You also have whistleblowers. If you see somebody come on, like, see if you see somebody come on social media and they
you.
got like their whole kitchen counter with money, you can call the IRS and report them, and they'll give you a percentage of the money. I'm telling you, we're not. It's like we listen to the people that's showing all the false stuff. If they showing you that their car that they're leasing and probably the house that they're leasing, and they got a little drip or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'm a multi-millionaire, and they got on Louis, Fendi, and whatever else, Gucci, mainly Gucci. Main ones who can't stand black people, Gucci this and Gucci that. I got your Gucci, and them the ones they listening to. They not listening to the people that's legit. That's who they listening to. The people that's misleading them. I cannot, in all good conscience, mislead my own people. It's not happening. I'm gonna tell you the truth because I done been through the school of hard knocks. I know how it works. I know
Yeah,
how it
but you
goes.
also, one, you are not of this generation. You are. I'm just gotta be honest. You are not of this generation. You're from the you're the elder generation. So you're doing your job as far as, hey, let me tell you the right way. Whereas again, depending upon which side of the '80s you're on, my generation, some of us got it, the other ones don't. So you got the ones like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that, but you also have the same ones who aren't able to reprimand their friends, if you will. Hey, dog, you shouldn't be treating her like that. ABCD. And it's none of my business, so they'll back off, they'll back away. Whereas again, your generation, y'all can speak your mind.
It's not. We speaking from experience because the other way don't work. It doesn't
Mhm.
work. I've been there where you get the house on credit, you finance the house, you finance your car, you got a nice job, nice house, nice whip, nice clothes, nice stuff. And then you run into a problem, you lose everything, or you got to sell everything, or you got to get rid of everything. So
Mhm.
basically, you need to make the money first and then buy the things. But nobody is talking about that. You know, business credit is good when you want to leverage. Okay, when you want to leverage. So say you want to buy and you want to build your credit. Okay, you got $10,000. You put your
Mhm.
$10,000 in the bank, and put not in a regular bank, but just put it in there, and then you go get you a $10,000 loan. That's leverage. You don't spend your 10,000. You go get a loan for the 10,000, and you use that 10,000 to back. Okay, to back the
Mhm.
10,000 you're gonna get. So it kind of like collateral,
Right.
right? So you use that instead of using your whole 10K, you go get you 10K credit, finance whatever you're trying to get, and you build up your credit that way. Nobody wants to do it that way. Why? Because it takes longer.
Yeah.
But it's a more solid way of doing it. And you could take that 10,000 and leverage it, split it maybe in four ways, and go do four other things with it, and triple your money. So it's not just about making money, it's about making it, knowing how to multiply it, and then
Mhm.
manage it. So it's really about making money and flipping it. But on the other side, you need to be business minded. You need to know business. Candy, you got to know how to put together a team. You know what I'm saying? I was like totally just like, yo, this woman don't know business because she never went to college. And her daughter told her that. She was like, Mom, you just know how to make money. She told her that right on TV. She said, you know how to make money. She said, but I'm going to college. And I'm not saying everybody got to go to college. I'm not saying that because you can be self-taught. You ain't got to go to college. You don't want to, but you can be self-taught. But I will behoove you that if you want to be, if anything you want to be in, you need to learn about it. Stop trying to take shortcuts because there is no shortcuts. There is no shortcuts. So that's all I'm saying as far as relationships are concerned. Like, when are we going to sit down? I think we should do a round table I think we should do a panel. And I've seen people do panels with men and women, but to me, the moderator didn't moderate it the way it was supposed to be moderated. I want to do a panel.
That's your generation kicking in. Because you be having some stuff that you want to say, but you ain't on the panel, you ain't there. So I think if you ever went on there with
because everything
Jada.
is versus. Anytime something is a verse, men versus women, it's the fight. That's why I put that on the flyer. This is not a versus. This is I hear you, you hear me. I might see your perspective. I might not see your perspective. I hear you. I want to understand you. I want us to come together.
Yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to.
Because we have to come together. Because at what point? Because somebody got to get married and have kids. somebody got to procreate. So women are saying that men don't have values, they don't want responsibility, and they don't want to mentor, and they don't want to be fathers, and they don't want to be husbands. And men are saying, well, women want to be like men. If we got a high body count, they want a high body count too. All of that is immature. That's y'all done totally missed the whole point.
Okay, let me shut all this down. Women want to have to do those things after men that were there stepped up and did what they were supposed to do. As far as men not wanting responsibility or kids or whatever the case may be, again, it's what you're choosing, because there are men out there who don't mind at all. But if that's what you're choosing because you don't want to, elevate or move up, okay, all right, fine. But women won't have to do certain things if men would step up. And it has nothing to do with what you can get. Being a gentleman is just being a gentleman.
Yeah.
If I'm on the bus, if you step on there, you need a seat, and they all taken, I should get up. Just
please, there ain't nobody getting up.
Again, I get it because I've been there.
It's that both sides want to be right. The men want to be right. The women want to be right.
It comes down to accountability. It's not about being right. It's not about being wrong. It's about being accountable. I think
it also comes down to the bigger picture.
Definitely a bigger picture. Absolutely. Yeah. No, because the bigger picture is, again, whether I'm trying to give it to you or not, you're still a human being. You're still a person. You're still a person that possibly may be in need.
And what's happening to the children? The children are watching garbage. They're listening to garbage music. They're watching garbage for videos. Like, to me, Megan should be ashamed of herself. It looks so I almost couldn't even watch the video. I was like, "Is them butts?" Oh my God, it looked nasty.
I'm gonna say this when it comes to the children.
What is going on, yo?
The children are just existing in a place, and they think that's parenting, and it's not. Parenting is deeper than that. It's more than, because my kids live here, they're well taken care of. No, you need to have talks. You need to know what's going on with them, and then allow them to speak freely, not disrespectfully, but freely. Also, whatever happened to just dinner at the table? Everything's always on.
I used to have family night. We had family night.
I remember that. Yeah, that doesn't exist nowadays. And it had nothing to do with the pandemic. It just doesn't happen. To actually sit down and have a conversation and there not be a tablet, a phone, it's not there. So that's also what's being passed down as well.
And you know what's so deep too? This is the thing I don't think people realize. The pandemic. See, I left my job. I don't like to say quit, but I left my job in 2013. But it forced people to be home. People that would have never worked from home. See, we know the freedom of working from home. Well, we've been working from home, but the pandemic forced people to have to be home. And they saw how much better it is, how much more money you can make. That's why the president wanted everybody to go back to work. because Black people making money. We making 6 and 7 figures. We making, we saying, dang, we can make 5, we can make 10K, we can make 20K, we can make 30K. We making money. Because after we do our, you know what I'm saying? After we do our job, we've been home all day. We ain't tired. We ain't been dealing with no office politics. We ain't been dealing with no jealousy and all that. All that stuff is toxic. That weigh you down. By the time you get home, you're all tired and everything. And you got cook and all that. I'm already home. Order some DoorDash. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? He's seeing that Black people are prospering because that's when you make the most money in recessions and depressions. Historically, that's when you make the most money. He's saying that we are making money. We're talking, even though we need to get off TikTok and all that because y'all telling too much on TikTok. You're telling too much. We need our own platform so we can circulate information amongst ourselves. Okay, get a VPN or something. You see what I'm saying? And so he's seeing that we're making money. We ain't making no little bit of money. We're making money. That's why he want to see them $600. He want to see, because people coming in talking about their Bitcoins and Bitcoins making people millionaires and stuff. Oh, really? And you think he not watching, but they watching. Because he said, oh, yeah, they making money. He said, but they don't have no lawyers and accountants. I said, oh, they are really watching. That's why he wants everybody to go back to work. So you can control. That's what work was designed. God never created jobs. Read your Bibles. Never created jobs. Jobs were created to control people because the king knew that a savior or deliverer was coming. So he put a decree out to kill all the firstborn sons. And so that's why Moses' mother put him in a basket, put him on the water. That's what Moses means, to be drawn from the water. And then, the rich people got him. He was raised and educated in Egypt by the rich people. And so it was never, he wanted to kill all the babies because he was afraid, exactly, just over broke. He was afraid that they were going to grow up. This is how fear works too. Fear is always in the future. That he was afraid they were going to grow up and take over his kingdom. God never created jobs. Never. Jobs
over broke. Is that an acronym for job?
They were created to control people. See, he can't control you. You at home. You working from home. And most of the time, they can't really give you a full 8 hours. Well, you wasn't working doing no 8 hours worth of work when you was at work. So you at home, you're probably doing about 3 hours. You probably doing about 3.5 hours of work.
Hey, be like that.
Them other 4 hours, you making money. He know it. That's why Joe said Monday y'all going back to work. Jim Crow Joe said y'all going back to work on Monday.
Jim Crow Joe.
Black people, come on. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. We can't hate each other. We can't do it. We can't hate the men. We can't. And they not our saviors. They not, women. They not our saviors. I know. I know you are. And they know it too. They know it. That's why Joe said, get back to work. Y'all going back in the office. We need to watch you. This is the great resignation. Because, baby, people are home making money, baby. Make that money.
Yes.
They making money. So we got to stop the hate. We got to stop the learn about the income and how much he make and how value men and how value women. And I got a man that make $1 million and stuff. That's slavery talk. That's slavery talk. Who is that asking that question?
That's Miss Bullock. I think she probably just came in.
We talking about the differences between men and women, and how black men and women are hating on each other, and just at each other's throat about, to me, just
nothing
insignificant stuff.
It's about nothing. About insecurity, frustration. That's it.
Yeah. We're not understanding each other. That's why this show is so critical. We're not understanding each other. Stuff that, at least if you're going to fight about something worth fighting about.
Well, and I'm not concerned
about. We got to get out of that mentality of we're waiting for a man to come. And see, now what's happened is a lot of women, they're not waiting anymore for the knight in shining armor.
They haven't been waiting for years. They haven't been waiting.
So, but like you said, men need to step up to the plate. Women are educated. The women are starting businesses. It is more African-American women starting businesses now than ever before, because what's happening is the wealth gap, we're closing it. That's what we should be focusing on. That's the big picture. We don't need to be fighting each other, hating on each other. The big picture is to close that wealth gap. That's what we need to be thinking about, closing that wealth gap. And we need to do real
big
business.
Mindset, not a small mindset. That's, again, the bigger picture. They worry about what's going on in their household, and this person did me wrong, and how can I get them back?
That's petty. That's childish. That's childish stuff. That's immature stuff.
That's where they're at.
Relationships are about being visionaries. When you come together with another person, it should be about building something. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always say I ain't gotta be married to you for me to be your partner. I can partner with you. I ain't gotta be married to you. I ain't gotta bring you home with me.
Yeah, again, we're going back to that small mindset. Man's mind,
marriage is about visionary, what we can build. What we can build. Okay, well, what's your what's on? What's your vision? Okay.
No, I'm with you.
My vision. Okay, so how can your vision, marry my vision? Okay.
Agreed. Again, it's about servitude.
Go ahead, Dante.
No, it's being in a relationship is about servitude. It's not about you. It's about what can you do. It's about servitude. It's not about yourself. I get that. I understand that. But
right, but it really is not even about it's not really about serving each other. It's really about serving the children, because the marriage is about the protection of the children. So while you fighting amongst each other about whose body count is the highest, what's happening to the children?
They watching, and then as they watch, they're going to go grow up and implement certain things. Thus, what I was saying before, your generation is different than, again, depending on what side of the 80s you on, the relationship now. Because it's like, oh, you don't need a man. He can just pay whatever bills and do this, and the third. Whereas, again, your generation not supposed to be like that.
But see, not only that too, it's like I think that women are saying, well, I make 6 figures, I got a college education. That's great. But what does that have to do with a relationship? That don't have nothing to do with the relationship.
Yeah, because that keeps getting thrown in there. Especially if he's just a blue collar worker. God forbid that happen. I have a degree, I have a master's, I have this. And it's like, yeah, so what I got to do with my GED? My high school diploma? Like, what? But again, that's just I just think that at that point, you can hold on to that for a minute.
What was the movie? What was the movie with Taraji P. Henson and
Acrimony.
Yes, and he was an inventor, and he took all her money and everything else, honey, and
he didn't. I don't know about that. He didn't take it like. He did kept, asking for it. She gave it up.
Right. She kept giving it to him.
But even so, once he got to where he was going, he broke her off.
But vision, that's how visions are. Visions don't come to pass overnight. A vision is a far off. It is a far off. So when God gives you a vision, he'll show you the end. All put together and beautiful. But you start at the beginning. And it doesn't, in however big the vision is, okay, he told Noah to build the ark. It took Noah 127 years to build that ark. Solomon built the temple. How many years did it take for him to build that temple? See, we talk about, I hate when people leave out details that's important. You need to know that when they left, when they was delivered, and it doesn't matter whether you believe the story. Just look at it as an analogy. If you don't believe it, it's a great story. Just look at it that way. You think that if somebody parted your situation, okay, and held back your creditors and held back your enemies and held back everything that be coming against you every day, that you was going to get to your destination overnight? No. Do you think when he parted that sea, whether he did it for real, not for real, if you believe it, don't believe it, whatever, do you think if you could walk through an ocean, you could do it in overnight? I don't think so. Stop thinking that stuff is going to happen overnight. Stop listening to these people on TikTok that don't know business. I have a business degree and I do business daily. Make money daily. Because when I quit my job, I was like, Lord, how in the world am I going? I had some money set aside, but you get paid every 2 weeks. My faith wasn't at that level that I could make the 2 weeks of what I was making on my job. I could get that right away. So I had to say, I said, okay, how much is my bills a month? How much is this going to cost? How much is that going to cost? How much do I need? Okay, this is how much I need a month. And that's what I made a month. And then business is cyclical. Some months you might make 10,000. The next 3 months you might not make nothing. How did you manage the money for them 3 months? You have expenses, equipment, all of that. Stop listening to people that's not telling you at least half the story. They just showing you the drip that they leasing. I don't care about your leased car. I don't care that you got a Bentley. That when you die, your Bentley going back to the dealership or they gonna come and take it. Because most people die without a will. Prince died without a will. Aretha Franklin died without a will. All these people dying, they're not leaving no will. Guess who get their stuff? The government. Government gonna swoop, slam down, and get your stuff. The quickest way, really, to leave an inheritance is an insurance policy. For real, for real. So, stop listening to people. Stop chasing money. Chase your dreams. Chase your vision. Chase your purpose. Stop chasing money. Stop it.
Let me hop in there. Operating your talent. That would be the quickest way for you to make money. Operating your talent.
Most people don't know what their talents are.
You got to do something to figure that out.
They're not teaching that part. That's why y'all need to come over here with me, because I'm gifted in that part and recognizing what your talent is. And it really wasn't until I met Matthew Knowles and I saw him operating in that it really clicked. And I said to him, man, I saw my talent in him. It is a talent to recognize talent. Everybody can't recognize talent. Why do you think they on a search for talent? All these little talent shows, they looking for singers and stuff because they know that's where the money is. See, the money comes in raw form. It comes in the form of intangible assets. It goes from intangible to tangible. It goes from invisible to visible. So chasing money, that's just a waste of time. If I want to make donuts, I can go to Krispy Kreme and buy the donuts. But the money going to be is if I learn how to make my own donuts. That's where the money going to be. And then that means that anytime I need donuts, I can make me some donuts. You need to learn how to make the money, not chase the money. Make it. These people got you chasing money and chasing material things. How to sell to a Negro. They've been doing it for forever. Because they done snatched our identity away from us. They know that we don't know who we are. And so why? So Because I got Gucci, that makes me somebody. Because I got Louis Vuitton on, that makes me somebody. So we're identifying with other people's legacies, but we don't have our own. We don't have our own because they know we're lacking as a culture. We're lacking in identity. And don't think they're not laughing about it. You done made Louis Vuitton and Gucci, Fendi, Chanel billionaires, and they can't stand you. Who was that? Jim Jones was just on there ranting about he went in Gucci and ain't nobody come out and service him, and he still dropped 10, 20K. Why would you do that? Dummy.
That's really more so about image, because you go into those type of stores, it's a certain image that they're looking for. So it's like, oh, I got money, and then you go ahead on and
no, it's not. It's not about image. It's about brand. It's brand. It is more of the slavery mentality. What is a brand? When you get some livestock,
checking for him,
and you get some cows. So you don't want somebody to come and steal your cows, or you want to sell your cows. You get a hot iron and you brand your cow. So when you wearing somebody else's brand, they've branded you. You belong to them. That's what branding means. That's what branding is. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like we gotta look at the big picture. Go ahead, close this out, Dante.
All right. First things first, yes, you do have to look at the bigger picture, because although, yes, it might be a relationship or you might be dealing with someone at the time, but it's more so of what you see in that person. Not all things need to be taken as, oh, this small, minute thing is now this big situation. It's not. All things can be discussed. All things can be talked about. This also goes back to you having your boundaries. What you're willing to allow and what you're not willing to allow. When it comes down to, again, men versus women, there really is no men versus women.
No.
Okay? That's it. Everyone has their preference. I think the issue comes in is where you try to force your preference onto someone and they don't measure up. So now you're upset because you made this choice, but you don't want to take accountability for the choice you made. So you deflected on everything that said person may be doing wrong and not the things they're doing correctly. Rather than just say, you know what? This isn't for me. I made a mistake. Either we can go back to being friends or you can exit the stage left. One of the two. But it never goes down that way. So you have the person who made a mistake. Now they're bitter. Now they're upset. Now that's taken out on possibly an entire race or just men or just women, where it doesn't need to be. Fall back. Don't accept anything less when you make your choices. Don't rush into things either. Because when you rush into things because it looks so nice and it's beautiful and it's smelling good or whatever the case may be, you're looking at the outside. What's going on the inside? Because it could be rotten on the inside, but nice and beautiful and candy coated on the outside. So just again, take your time. Take your time. Take your time.
All right, I know we got to go. We went over our time. I wanted to address that comment that Kim K made. We'll do it. We'll talk about it next week. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for showing.